Hello and welcome you all in this session. Myself, Assistant Professor Vipul Gupta from LG School of Law. Today we'll discuss on the subject of legal theory, in which the topic of today's discussion is criticisms of analytical school of law. So we have discussed the analytical school of law that has been originated or derived from the Bentham's and Austin's opinion. They are prime supporter of this theory, but it is also has some criticisms in it. So we'll discuss the criticisms of the analytical school of law. So first criticism of the theory is this theory devoid the concept of ethical and moral grounds. These are the basically main requirements, or the natural man what needs is ethics and morality, which is divided from this theory. So this theory is not adequate in that sense. Secondly, it ignores international law and customary law. Basically, every country has to consider what are the obligation at international and the customary level. So this theory ignores two things in very first sense. Is first, it ignores natural man needs is morality and ethics. Second, it ignores international and customary law. Thirdly, there are certain acts which confers powers on the people's right. For example, Contract Act, Property Act, these laws confers right to the people. They can enjoy their right by entertaining this or by applying with this laws. For example, right to vote, or right to which is my property. These are my own right, or right to decide the right for my own house. So these are the powers conferred to the peoples, but this theory ignores the power of people. This theory confirms only the power lies in the hands of sovereign. Only sovereign can make laws, only sovereign can sanction laws. So this theory ignores certain laws which confers right on the people. So this theory inadequate in that sense. They are not conferring the rights to the people which are in their hands. So this theory is again inadequate on that sense, that it secures all the powers in the hands of sovereigns. Only sovereign can make the laws, and only sovereign can sanction the laws. Only powers lies with them. So this theory is inadequate in certain aspects. In this theory, it says that the person who has power in his hand make the laws for that. So if that person goes and second person comes, then his command will be there in exist. That means even after his extinguishment, the laws or the powers or the rules that made by him will be there, if that not repelling by the later sovereign. So if they are in their existence, that can be command on the people. People have to follow it. They have to they have the power to sanction it. But if it say in a truly sense, implied command cannot be a good law. They cannot be followed by the later sovereign. So you cannot have the sanctions of the implied command. You can either expressly put command on the people. So this theory again is inadequate in that sense. Even a former sovereign can enact the later sovereign's powers or sanction by not repealing them, but it says as a implied command which are not good law, or it is called inadequate law. So it again a criticism for this theory. Fifthly, it ignores the precedent. Now what is precedent? Precedent means judge made law, or we can say the judge's opinion on any law. So he ignores this theory. Precedent is a kind of source of law and highly followed in the English rule, that even judge can make law. By understanding the problems of law, they can make a judgment, and they can tell the legislature to make certain laws because they are inadequate in application. But in this theory again, Austin and Bentham has ignored the part of judicial precedent. They did not consider precedent as a source of law, or it can be a it can be a guidelines for the legislature. It ignores highly. It just says that it is not source of law. We cannot consider the judicial precedent as a sources of law, or they can consider by the legislature or the sovereign person. It clearly says that what is positive law. Positive law means whatever is decided by the sovereign person, that will be law. So he clearly ignores the theory of judicial precedent, which is a major source of law. So this is again a high criticism of this theory. In this aspect, Austin replies that we cannot consider precedent as a source of or the legislation for the society, because as a parliament has power to appoint judge or impeach the judge. So again, the person who has power in hand will appoint the judges and will impeach the judges. So their judgment will not consider by this powerful parliament. So completely rely on the powers of the parliament. So the person who is appointing them or who has the power to impeach them, so we did not need to take attention to the precedents or the judgment given by the judiciary. We can only rely on the law made by the parliament, because they have the power to make the laws, to sanction the law. So he ignores the theory of precedent. Sixthly, it says that in every state basic rules can be made by the sovereign. That is true. Parliament will make the basic rules for society, but there are certain things which are made by society itself. For example, our customers, like our customs, our successions laws, that we believe in certain relationship, or we having the personal marriage codes. So these are again ignored by the Austin in his theory, that there are customs also which followed by the people as a law, which he ignores. And seventhly, it says that only legislatures cannot enforce the law. There are also roles of executives who execute the law. So ignores the part of executives also here. He said that every power lies with the parliament only. Now parliament cannot execute the laws. Executors are different from the parliament, and they cannot. The parliament only can make the laws. They will not understand the problem in application or executing the laws or interpretation of the laws. So again, this theory has this backdrop that you cannot interpret the laws, or you cannot execute the laws by your own. A parliament having power to make laws, it will not understand the problems of executors and the interpretation of the laws. So you cannot give all the power to the parliament. And of course it ignores the theory of customs, which are man-made by or the society, socialism, which he ignores again this theory. So this theory has its own criticism, because it's just straightway talks about the powers of parliament or the powers of sovereign, that they have the power to make the laws, and he ignores certain other aspects which are linked in with this theory. To create any legal system, there is not only one thing. Yes, of course, legislatures are the prime duty, or they have the most liable person to make the laws. They will make the basic laws, but there are certain aspects are there too which attach with this parliament's power, so which are ignored by this theory. So this theory has this kind of criticisms which we have mentioned over here. So basic criticisms are they ignores the ethical and moral grounds, precedents, customs, and other roles of the government they ignore over here. So these are the criticism of this theory. So we have discussed the positive school of law, that that has been written by the Bentham and then developed by the Austin, and its criticisms. And this basically this theory talks about the one thing, that is a sovereign power, positive power, and its criticisms are we have discussed over here today, that he ignores many other aspects too. So this is all about Analytica School of Law. Thank you.